So the next piece of news I wanted to touch on is about Tango Gameworks on the Xbox side. So legendary game designer Shin Mikami is leaving Tango Gameworks. So again, as reported by various sources, including Push Square, later confirmed by Bethesda, founder and CEO of Tango Gameworks is set to leave the studio in the coming months. And let me read you Bethesda's tweet, if I can find it here, that they put out officially confirming this. So they said, quote, "We can confirm that Shinji Mikami has decided to leave Tango Gameworks in the coming months. We thank him for his work as a creative leader and supportive mentor to young developers on the Evil Within franchise, Ghostwrite Tokyo, and of course, Hi-Fi Rush. We wish Mikami-san well in the future and are excited about what lies ahead for the talented developers at Tango." So it is indeed true that he is leaving. And it's kind of crazy. So for those that don't know, Mikami's been with Tango for the last 12 years. He founded the studio. And as the tweet mentioned, brought us games like the Evil Within series, 1 and 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, obviously, Hi-Fi Rush most recently, which is it was big on Xbox. But even before that, he had a long career at Capcom, where he helped create the iconic series Resident Evil. Anyone heard of that one? Pretty big. Pretty sure he was very seminal on Resident Evil 4 as well. And Dino Crisis, which is kind of this beloved kind of fan favorite game that is long dormant, though I wouldn't be surprised if it came back in some capacity. So I think this is big news. Now, I think it's easy to kind of point fingers at Xbox and say that this is just a symptom of the Xbox acquisition. And that could be the case. But I think more likely is he's retiring. I feel like that's kind of the more plausible answer to why he's leaving, because I think I saw he's been in the industry for like 30 plus years. I think he's 58 is what I saw. So he's getting up there. Maybe he's had his fill of it, and he's just either wants to take a break, or he's just spend time with the family and retire. That kind of thing. I certainly think that is absolutely plausible. But I also, the pessimist in me kind of thinks that maybe this is a sign of things at Xbox. I mean, we've talked about the kind of trouble, like with the recent layoffs over at Bethesda and 343. A lot of some of the lead devs coming out talking about leadership issues, stuff like that. So you get a sense that maybe there's some chaos in the background over there. And I mean, anytime there's some sort of big acquisition, leadership changes, all that stuff, I mean, oftentimes there's personnel movement, and sometimes that's the folks up high, and other times it's not. But it certainly could be plausible that maybe he's just like, I'm not fond of this direction, or kind of the direction Xbox wants us to go. Even though I founded this studio, I think it's time for me to go. And even though I think Bethesda is kind of their own vertical under Xbox and Microsoft, they still very much report to Microsoft. So could be the case. And you know what, quite frankly, it could be both. Both things could be true, to where he's like, I don't really like this, but I'm also going to retire, So who knows what the reason is? Wish him the best. I will say I'm kind of bummed to hear about this, because I really want another Evil Within from Tango. Like that's what I want. I really enjoyed those first two games. And heck, I'd even take another Ghostwire Tokyo. I mean, as I've talked about multiple times on the show, I fell in love with that game, and I think it's genuinely great and kind of underrated to a certain degree. And hopefully when it comes, I know it'll come to Xbox here probably next month, because it'll be the 12-month mark. If you're on Xbox, I would highly recommend it. And it's on game. It'll be on Game Pass, no doubt. So you can enjoy it there. But that's really what I'm not saying we're never going to get those games, but I want that studio to get back to horror. Like, again, I gotta play Hi-Fi Rush. It is in my backlog. I certainly do want to play it to see if it lives up to, the hype and the reception that a lot of people have given that game. But I like when this studio does horror. Again, I liked their previous games, and I want to see them get back to that. So we shall see. But I thought this was really interesting, and I don't know. Could it be a sign that things are bad? Maybe. But again, I think the more plausible is that this band's just retiring.
Thanks for tuning in to this clip from the Game Site Chronicles podcast. You can tune in new episodes every week, Mondays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform. And until next time, I'm Bonfire, and I will see you online.